We got obstacles everywhere. Obstacles, obstacles, poles. Yeah. Good thing I wasn't going 90 there, huh? Ugh. All right, y'all, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all have been doing well. Today we are going to show how the Honda Rebel 500 performs on the highway. So this is something that I could not get a clear answer for when I was initially making the purchase for this motorcycle. I saw varying opinions on this topic on, it doesn't do well on the highway, it is okay on the highway. So I've ridden it quite a bit on the highway now, have a good idea of how it performs. I'm going to talk to you about some of what it does well, some of what it's just passable, and what it does not do well. All right, so we'll get into it. I'm on the way to the sheriff's office in downtown Raleigh. Got a nice little stretch of highway. You can see here I got about a quarter tank of gas here. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill up now, and I will see y'all on the highway. See you in a bit. So let's go ahead and check it out here. I'm gonna merge onto 40. And let's start by talking about just casual cruising on the highway, all right? Doing a nice 70 here. It's a weekday, it's 3 o'clock. Not a ton of traffic right now. 70, 75, this is a good cruising speed for this bike. And the reason why I say that is if I need to accelerate out of a situation here, I'm gonna go ahead and say I need to pass this truck, right? If I give it full throttle here, I can quickly climb from 69 to 80, not super fast, right? But enough to get the job done. So 75 cruising speed, it's gonna do just fine, right? There's a caveat with that. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, right? I'm 5'8", 180 pounds, right? Some muscle, mostly cookies, right? So it really depends on how big you are. If you are 6'2", 220 pounds, this bike may not move you as easily as it's moving me, right? So something to be mindful of if you're a bigger guy looking to get this bike. But even so, you're probably talking about, a difference of a few miles per hour. Not much there, okay? So the bike can handle its own, going a steady speed here. Now, what I've found with this bike, and the one downfall when it comes to highway riding, is going to be how you can accelerate from already going high speed. So what I mean by that is, if I'm already going 80, and I need to quickly get over, if I'm going 85, I need to quickly get over to the other lane, there's another car there, I need to speed up quickly in front of them. This bike does not have the torque to deliver that kind of quick few second acceleration when you're already going fast, okay? So I'll show you a good example of that here. So that was a good example of the limitation there, where you can see I was trying to switch lanes and trying to match that car's pace or go a little faster than that pickup truck behind me there. I don't know if you can see it in the rearview mirror. But I was already going kind of fast. So it took me a second to kind of get that power to get up to speed to get in front of this guy. All right. So it's kind of hard to tell in that video. I didn't have the 360 cam yet, so I couldn't quite show you, but I'm trying to get over. I'm already going fast. And there was a car going fast in the right lane, a white truck. And it took me a second to kind of speed up, right, to kind of match their speed so I can get over. So that's one thing to be mindful of when you're riding this motorcycle on the highway, okay? It's not gonna have that acceleration when you're already going fast, okay? Factor that into your decision making on the highway, factor in the time it takes to make those quick accelerations on the road, all right? All right, so that's the one kind of downside of riding on the highway. I think this bike can absolutely ride on the highway though, okay? Now let's talk about pure power with this bike. Let's redline this engine. So I'm gonna show you two examples here. Lay the first one here. It's me going on 540, wide open highway, just letting the throttle rip all the way. Yo, what is going on? Thank you for watching. And we're about to go really fast down 540 and put the Honda Rebel to the test. But before we do, just want to give you a reminder to subscribe to the content if you are enjoying it. If not, that's totally fine. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, so we're wide ass open now, not a lot of traffic here. Let's go ahead and let her rip. So I am full throttle right now. I'll lean forward a little bit. We're at 90, 91, and is where she really starts to top out. 96. And we're going downhill too, be mindful of that. Now I'm going uphill, we're approaching a flat surface here. 96, 97, 95. See, now we're on a flat surface. Going a little slower. 94, I'm still full throttle. So this is about what you're going to get in terms of max speed from this bike. All right, so you can see there I'm able to do about 95 miles per hour. Again, be mindful of the size of the rider, right? The bike may not be able to pull you if you're a little heavier than I am, okay? But you can see I can get to 94, 95 without an issue. That's about top speed for this bike, all right? So if you're looking to burn it down the highway, maybe not the bike for you, right? But again, this is a beginner class cruiser. A lot of folks are getting this to learn on. Probably aren't going to be doing 120 miles per hour or looking to do 120 miles per hour on this motorcycle, all right? Point A to point B does just fine on the highway, okay? I'll show you another clip of me kind of accelerating into speed with some traffic around me and some shenanigans that take place at the end of this clip, so stay tuned for that. 75 right now, going downhill. If I give it full throttle here, I can get to moving. I can get to moving, right? Quickly at 90. Okay? So this bike can move pretty quickly. If you think you're going to be, if you're planning on burning it down the highway, right, maybe go with, you know, similarly priced beginner-ish bike. Oh, we got obstacles everywhere, obstacles, poles, yeah! Good thing I wasn't going 90 there, huh? Ugh. All right, that was exciting stuff. All right, so yeah, chaos can ensue pretty quickly on a motorcycle, as you can see. You got to be ready for that kind of stuff. That's why you shouldn't be driving 90 plus miles an hour all the time. You never know what's in front of you. But either way, I lucked out in that situation. Hopefully that BMW didn't get too messed up there. All right, so you can see, you know, it can get up there in speed, right? The bike can move. It has this kind of reputation of being you know, a beginner bike, right? Not powerful, whatever. And I wouldn't call this bike, I wouldn't describe this bike as powerful, right? But it can get the job done. It can go pretty damn fast if you want to let it rip, okay? I'm going to show you a clip now from the 360 camera of me just doing some regular kind of riskier highway riding, okay? And in this clip, I'm hitting about 80 to 95-ish miles an hour, kind of weaving in and out of traffic. Just to show you kind of top-end performance on this bike with just a casual ride. Alright, so you can see I'm cutting it up in that video, kind of moving in and out of traffic. Not too concerned with the bike's power there, right? I don't feel limited by this bike. The only limitations I feel on the highway with this motorcycle is a very specific scenario, and that's that scenario of kind of quickly accelerating when you're already going fast, like I mentioned before. You know, if you're accelerating, if you're going at a particular speed, even if it's like 88 miles an hour, you can kind of navigate and move around. But if you need, if you're already going fast and you need to kind of go a little faster, you gotta rip that throttle all the way, kind of open it up all the way. And on other similar kind of beginner style cruisers, semi-beginner cruisers, like, you know, the Harley Davidson Sportster, the Indian Scout Bobber, right? Those motorcycles have a bit more power. I'm not sure about the Kawasaki Vulcan, I should look it up. But those bikes have a bit more power than this, a bit more torque, rather, if you will. And that's something that is missing from this motorcycle, and you especially notice it on the highway. So I'm going to hop off here on Lake Wheeler Road. Let's talk about kind of my final verdict here, and we'll close out the video. Get in front of this semi here. This is a perfect example. Got to kind of quickly accelerate. I got this CR beacon in my lane also. Trying to get to that Lake Wheeler exit here. You see, it kind of takes a second. I'm going full throttle. Be mindful of this Tundra. All right. So I mean, yeah, you just got to get used to the timing that the power of this bike or the lack of power kind of presents you with. That was a fantastic example there. I'm glad that happened. All right, so we took you down the highway about 6-ish, 5-ish miles there. I'll also show you some clips of me kind of letting it rip and moving in and out of traffic and kind of cruising down the highway. So my overall verdict, right? This bike can absolutely handle the highway, man. I wish someone would just clearly say that for me when I was going to purchase this motorcycle, because that was one of the things I was kind of going back and forth on. The Honda Rebel 500 can absolutely handle the highway. You saw it kind of in all phases there. There is that one limitation that I do think is very important to point out, right? That lack of torque, that lack of acceleration when you're already going fast on the motorcycle. But that's something that you kind of learn to manage, right? And this bike, you know, for a lot of people, this bike is kind of their lifelong bike, and that's totally fine. But for a lot of other folks, this is their beginner bike. This is the bike that kind of introduces them to the sport, the bike that is a stepping stone for them, and they move on to something like an Indian Chief or Scout, or move on to something like a Harley Davidson Lowrider S, or Harley Davidson Lowrider ST, or whatever that may be. And in that case, it does not get better than the Rebel 500, man. It doesn't get better than the Rebel 500. It has just enough power to allow you to have fun and allow you to get to point A to point B, but caps you just enough so that you can still kind of do stupid things on this motorcycle, but just enough so you don't kill yourself. All right. So with that said, I'll leave you with that. Thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you like and subscribe. If you are purchasing a Honda Rebel 500 and have some additional questions, definitely let me know. Happy to make other content about the specific questions you have around performance or whatever that may be. And yeah, if you're a Honda Rebel rider, please let me know in the comments kind of what your experience is of riding the motorcycle on the highway. Let me know kind of if or what I missed in this video. If you're looking to purchase a Honda Rebel 500, hopefully this video helped you out some in making your decision either way. It's a great bike. I hope you enjoy it if you do get it. And if not, either way, I hope you stay safe out there and enjoy the ride. And for those folks that are just tuning in to watch somebody ride a motorcycle like I normally do on YouTube, I appreciate you all watching. Hopefully you found this content entertaining. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And I will go ahead and see you on the next one. Peace out, y'all.